and the paper is now under review. Maybe you can tell a little bit of the main results in a kind of high level. What do the results look from these studies?
Yeah, I can say actually the Fibion, because I mentioned before we have the two location for the Fibion. Yes, one is on the sign and another one is on pocket in the pocket location. I can generally say our results is we found the sign mounted Fibion actually can give the better estimate or validate for the sitting and standing. While the pocket mounted Fibion actually was more accurate if walking and running. It's based on our laboratory. But the both places for the energy expenditure is overestimated energy expenditure during sitting. Not too much, about 0.16 to 0.25 calorie per minute, something like that. And underestimated is during standing, walking, and running. And for the observation setting, for the activity classification, the side-mounted Fibion actually had better validated than the pocket-mounted devices for measuring duration of sitting, standing, and moving. Yeah. Yes. And both places tended to slightly overestimate duration of sitting and moving while underestimating for the standing. Yeah. Yes, that is our general results. But at least I think the Fibion accelerometer actually provides a very appropriate validate for assessing energy expenditure and classifying activity types in children, particularly one side mounted for sitting and standing and pocket mounted for the walking and running.
Yeah. So you would have the conclusion that for 7 and 12-year-olds, it worked pretty okay for energy expenditure and activity type detection also in free running.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. All right. Very nice. And so that's the validation part. Of course, you have a lot of data from different positions. You can do many kind of validation studies, as you have the EMG, indirect calorimetry, and different body locations. What's your main idea? What will you do with the school day where you have the EMG and the accelerometer data? What do you plan to do with that?
Yeah. For the school day, actually, we also recording for their classes schedules. There is some ideas. For example, we want to see how those classes schedules affect their physical activity and sedentary behaviors. And another one is still follow my previous studying ideas is how their muscle activity and inactivity compare with the physical activities. So the intensity classification from different intensities of physical activities. We also want, because one idea is also we want to see how about the overweight or the obesity children compared to the normal weight children, how they are different during their school time. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting. And didn't Arto, your colleague from Uvascular, I think he did study about the muscle activity in standing between overweight and normal weight people? And was it that it's much higher muscle activity for overweight people, and maybe for normal weight people the standing is not much of activity, but especially if you're obese, it's quite a bit of muscle activities to stand, right?
Yeah, actually, it is the similar results in children.
Yeah.
We can find the similar results in children, at least in our study samples.
Yeah, and that might be the reason why obese children might choose to be sedentary more, because even standing is more muscle work for them, so it's more tiring. So it could be one reason which is kind of pushing them more for sedentary behavior. Yeah, they're very interesting. And then you have the last part, which was 7-day measurement, and you had 400 participants, which is very impressive amount. And you had the Fibion devices, and you are going to look the sedentary behavior, physical activity, and then compare also the normal weight and overweight. Yeah, could you tell a little bit more about your plans with
Yeah,
this data?
this one actually, because nowadays the 24 movements behaviors are very popular topics. Because as we know,
Yeah.
the whole day is 24 hours. If you increase physical activity, then it means sometimes it's decreased from the another part of day.
Yeah.
So for 24-hour movements, it composes the physical activity, sedentary behavior, and the sleeping time. So we try to use these 24-hour movements behaviors and to build up. Yeah, because we had collect the information for children, there can see how the obese and overweight children, if we use these substitutions models, how they change their BMI scores. Yeah.
Hmm.
And actually, we also followed up 100, a little bit over 100 children 1 year later. So we want to see how these substitutions work there.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, no, very, very interesting studies. And I think from this data set you can publish probably 10, 20 papers, which are all very, very interesting and unique. You are probably still collaborating with Uvascula and some people. Would you be interested for other collaboration? I think you have a very interesting study. Maybe some of our listeners listening this could be interested collaborating with you. Are you interested in collaboration, and what would you be looking for?
Yeah, of course. Of course, I think I'm very interested to in collaboration with other researchers who are who share our interest in physical activity and sedentary behavior. So if any of the doing similar research, we can exchange our ideas and we can discuss, even develop something new ideas, even to do the collaboration to work on the same papers. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I very openly and kindly to invite together to work together.
Yeah, yeah. So if any of the listeners is interested, be in contact with Ying. Yeah, I think it's a very nice data set, and I personally know the work to collect the data. So I think it's always a shame that if you have a really nice data set and then you don't use it fully, which is often the case, because for funding you need to collect more. So I think this data set it's very valuable, and especially that you have the EMG and indirect calorimetry. It adds a new perspective that you have the cardiovascular and also musculoskeletal, and then you have the accelerometers in different locations. So you can do really really nice studies with that. And for anyone listening, Zhejiang food is not so spicy. So even if you don't like the spicy Chinese food, it's tasty but not so spicy there if you go for a visit. Anything else you want to add about the discussion about this project of yours?
This project is I had to say, crazy.
Yeah,
But I can add
yeah, yeah.
something new, but I don't know if our time is enough.
No, no,
Yeah,
you can add. Yeah,
because
please.
actually currently I have another two projects start running. Of course, if someone interesting from the audience, very also welcome there. They can be joining with us in our research team. Is one study is we are actually nowadays collect the data in the nursing home. So for the
Yeah,
elderly people, they are staying in a nursing home because during the holiday we find the all the people in the nursing home, they are quite lonely and how can I say? So we want to them have the more movements. So we went there to do some intervention. So use very Chinese way. So for example, the Tai Chi and everyone knowing the word. So in that or in this in this study, in this project we had some applied study. We have some small paper published there already for the 3 months intervention with Tai Chi for the elderly, for the elderly in the nursing home. Now we are collect the data also in the nursing home. It's for example, target project population, for example, the sarcopenia. Sarcopenia. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Sarcopenia. Yeah.
And we also measure there for the Fibion devices, accelerometers, and as well as the EMG sleeves. So nowadays we also measure their muscle activities in the nursing home.
Yeah, no, that's interesting. And of course, with the elderly people in nursing home, the muscle activity is important as we are losing muscle mass and especially muscle performance, muscle strength and speed, which is important to be able to do the daily activities. A very interesting study. Maybe I can tell one study of the elderly people when I was in China. This is for Professor Sulin Cheng's effectiveness. She was just like putting up quickly a study, and we drive outside of Shanghai to one kind of resort or something of like, and then we are there. We are maybe 10 researchers, and then there's like 3 buses full of elderly people just comes on the yard. And it's like organizing, all right, there will be a walking test here. Only you will be there doing the walking test. And there will be a blood samples and other things. And it was like, we just like super fast put up a study and it was like 3 buses full of people all came at the same time and they had like, I think they stayed overnight and we were staying there, and then like that was the weekend, and then we were off and all the measurements were done, and like hundreds of people or more than 100 people. It was, I think it was a nice funny experience how to do something like really fast.
We are not do like that way, but we are going to visit the nursing home to collect data in there. Yeah. But your experience is very interesting.
Yeah.